Hello, everyone. Good morning. Konbanwa, and welcome to the Open Innovation Week December edition. I am Marco Petuco, Head of Communications for 100 Open Startups, and you are watching the largest and most innovative Open Innovation Week in Brazil. The Open Innovation Week is the monthly meeting point where people of the innovation ecosystem have the opportunity to co-create solutions, share knowledge, and of course, do business. This edition is being held in partnership with Jetro, the Japan External Trade Organization, and brings together the innovation communities of Brazil and Japan. So we are now going to watch a short video from Jetro about health tech, which is the focus of today's presentations. Check it out.
The spread of COVID-19 in Japan has exacerbated the burden on medical facilities and doctors caused by an aging population and regional disparities. With the need to improve productivity, demand for the digitalization of medical care is growing in Japan. Infravision, headquartered in China, provides AI technologies that assist medical image diagnosis. The company has applied its solution to the diagnosis of COVID-19 during the pandemic.
3、4月份的时候，其实日本的肺炎患者也越来越多了，所以我们就决定把这款病毒性肺炎的产品引入到日本来。那4月份的时候，我们向日本的医疗器械审查机构 PMDA 提出了上市许可的申请。那 PMDA 在保证申请质量的前提下，以非常快的速度就给了我们上市审批的许可，大概整个流程花费了3周左右。那在医生的态度方面，他们也越来越拥抱 AI， 越来越愿意去尝试用 AI 帮助到他们的诊疗工作。
PRA provides drug development support through a smartphone platform that enables remote participation in clinical studies. The company has contributed to maintaining the process of new drug development when face-to-face clinical trials have been limited during the pandemic.
コロナの影響ということで、患者さんにとっては医療機関に来院するということ自体に対してリスクを感じられる方も多くなってきている。医療機関に関しましても、これまでは当たり前のように来院してやりましょうと思ってたものが、来院しなくてもできるんだったら、なるべく来院しないでやりましょうという形のマインドセットが180度変わったので、そういうところは非常に大きい違いだと思います。
In Japan, due to the pandemic, the shift towards digital solutions among medical institutions, doctors, and governments is evolving. For companies providing technologies and services to advance the digitalization of the medical industry, the Japanese market will be a place to thrive.
I thank Jetro for the partnership. And now to kick off today's presentations and tell us about the Japanese health innovation ecosystem, I invite Mr. Yuichi Ikegawa, Brazil Leader Partner and Japanese Services Group of Deloitte. Welcome, Yuichi-san. Thank you for your presence.
Thank you, Marco. Good morning, everyone. Very nice to see you in this virtual meeting. I am Yuichi Ikegawa, partner of Deloitte and leading Japanese practice in this region. So today I will make a short presentation about Japanese health innovation ecosystems. I'm trying to share my presentation. Do you see this? Okay. So first information that I want to share with you. Let me see. Yes, this. So Japan is one of most largest country which is investing in R&D, research and development among G7 countries. I don't know how many people knows this information. So consequently, Japan has highest number of researchers among G7s. So this may affect very positively health innovation in Japan also. And the second information is this. So how about this investment in healthcare startup business? So Healthcare venture or healthcare startups are one of the most attractive sector for Japanese investors. Please look at the chart in left. The light blue part portion is biotechnology and healthcare sector among all the sector in startups. So they are investing very good portion for healthcare and biotechnology. And please look at the right chart, right part. So this is showing that growth of healthcare investment in startup company, right? So in these 3 years, the investment for startups of healthcare doubled. That's quite impressive number. So what kind of healthcare startups we have in Japan? So Deloitte is coordinating Morning Pitch, which is the most famous ecosystem in Japan. Also, later I will explain better. And we have more than 100 healthcare startups in these Morning Pitches. And I categorized for 4 major groups in the startups. The first group is health information wellness. Please imagine like an Apple Watch. So they collect that, your health information, and through the application, you can receive some wellness support, right? So Japan also has this kind of services, and we have many companies on this sector. The second category is booking marketplace. So in Brazil, the most famous, startups in healthcare is like a Gympass, very successful. Booking and marketplace is like a Gympass. But in Japan, this sector is under development. So we have very, very small market share companies still. And the third category, online medicine, is very attractive for Japanese investors and foreign investors, and also AI robotics. Online medicine, we have many companies in the morning pitch also. And later I will introduce about the TICU. So as you may know, Japan has very robust, good national health insurance systems. There are many physical hospital and medical clinics, but at the same time, they are investing in online medicine. As you saw in the video from Jetro, this is moment of pandemics. We should invest in the technology of online medicine. That's a trend across the world. And the fourth very important category is AI and robotics. So Japan is quite investing in this sector, but the challenge is, Japanese company has just Japanese patient data, which is limiting. In Brazil, we have many people from many roots, many origins. So we have very robust human data. So if Japanese companies like AI robotics company has access to that, data in Brazil, their AI learning system will be more developed, and consequently, solution will be more robust. So I would like to show some companies. So today I have a very short, limited time, so I picked up 3 companies, startups, which is very, very, featured recently in media. First company is TICU. This is very interesting. This is remote online intensive care company. Intensive care looks like very, very physical, right? But this president is doctor and also intensive care specialist. He created these companies, so he himself is providing the intensive care services in online basis. That's very interesting. The second one is nutrition test, which is very easy to use. And they are providing nutrition tests for individuals and also companies. They are using urine test. Their name is Yukashi Card Corporation. The third company is influenza and AI information companies. They have their own method to diagnose influenza in Japan. So they are using AI system to diagnose influenza, which is quite very unique in Japan also. So if we show Japanese healthcare ecosystem in detail, it's gonna be like this very, very busy slide, sorry. So we have many healthcare companies, startups. So they are investing in this sector more. So they have many pieces of business domains. So the challenge is to how to interact between business domains. Each business domain can make money, but if they collaborate together, they can make bigger money returns. And also they should, communicate with doctor and patient. Sometimes this kind of solution require to change the behavior of doctors and the patient using the new technology application on mobile, something like that. So they will need marketing and educational processes also. I think I have still time. Just showing that, how Deloitte is supporting for healthcare innovative companies. So we are supporting startup companies and also large companies. We are acting as a bridge between startup companies and large companies in Brazil, in Japan also. So for large companies, we are making as, narrowing down, selecting startup companies. For startup company, we are searching that investors. And also, we are advising for government, Japanese government. They are very keen to research and provide initiatives in the startups. As I said previously, Deloitte is running that morning pitch, which is the most famous pitch event in Japan. We are attracting more than 200 large company managers in weekly basis. So we have this morning pitch in Japan, Taiwan, Korea, India, Singapore, Israel, and Silicon Valley. So we still don't have this morning pitch in Brazil, but we'd love to have this session in Brazil in future. So for startups in Brazil, we have many corporate venture capital in Japan and funding investor in Japan. They are looking for some investment opportunity here in Brazil also. So today I'm very interested to hear from other speakers about Brazilian healthcare innovation also. My presentation is like this. So I hope we can collaborate together. Let's create that business opportunity between Brazil and Japan together. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Yuichi-san. We're now taking a short break and we'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. We're back with Open Innovation Week. Thanks to everyone who is watching us live. And now to continue today's presentation, I invite Mr. Marco Bego, Executive Director of Hospital das Clínicas, and Ms. Márcia Ogawa, partner, technology, and telecom industry leader of Deloitte.
Good morning. First of all, I'd like to thanks Márcia Ogawa for always supporting Inovações in our projects, and Deloitte and the Japan Trading for inviting me for participating this project or this summit. For starters, I will make a short presentation about HC and Inovações, and then present two examples of projects that were based on real and complex problems. Inovações was built for the development of an innovation ecosystem in health. It is an open innovation program which runs the innovation from outside to inside and from inside to outside the Hospital das Clínicas of the University of São Paulo Medical School. We focus on using innovation to solve complex problems and transfer scientific, technological, and cultural knowledge for the community. HC is the largest hospital complex in Latin America. It has 75 years of activity, 8 specialized institutes such as radiology, pediatrics, orthopedics, heart disease, and cancer. In addition, it has 66 research laboratories in the medical field with more than 200 research lines. It has more than 20,000 employees, more than 2,500 beds, 106 surgery rooms, more than 1 million outpatient visits per year, and a rich database with more than 5 petabytes. At the Inovações, we understand that innovation is not done alone, so the construction and maintenance of an ecosystem has always been a decisive factor for success. This figure represents the mapping of the ecosystem where Inovações is inserted, and is the result of a work that we did to organize our innovation projects in line with health needs and integrated with the government, the university, companies, the source of resource, and the civil society in general. Today, we have actions to aim to strengthen each of these verticals. Inovações started the operation on a regular basis in 2018, and in the last 2 years, we have managed to connect more than 70 startups in our ecosystem. We have collaboration agreements inside and outside Brazil, and projects with various specialties with public and private partners, and often both together. Our structure consists of a space for startups that we call Distrito Inovações, inside the HC with 900 square meters, and artificial intelligence laboratory and support areas with auditoriums. The accelerator is a joint project with a private company, and today we have installed inside the HC about 30 startups and many national and multinational companies that execute their innovation projects within Inovações. As an example, AstraZeneca, which has its innovation Healthtech lab in this area. In this space, we also have what we call Healthtech 4.0 experience, which is a place to explore, test, and apply disruptive technologies together with our partners, doctors, researchers, and public in general. The Artificial Intelligence Laboratory was built in a partnership between HC, Siemens, and Deloitte to accelerate the use of AI in healthcare. The use of AI in health in Brazil is still small. Many companies and professionals still do not have processes on how to use or buy AI-based products, and in this laboratory we have actions for these experimentations. The laboratory support structures are HC's data lake and our challenging and training platform called Orbia. Today, in the in-lab has projects in the areas of lung, breast, bone marrow, and cancer. In the sport areas, we have innovation events every month, such as startup weekends and guys like that. In addition to the thematic projects in the innovation model of Inovações, we maintain 3 general programs. One aimed at researchers who have projects that could become a product or service with social impact or for business. An incubator for startups in the beginning stage of operation, which aims to improve the MVP and business plan. An acceleration program to help startups scale their products and service. More details can be found on the Inovações websites. As an examples of projects that we execute within Inovações, there are 2 that I would like to share with you. The first one is the use of AI for actions to fight against COVID-19. It is a project that aims to build a platform so that we could offer AI algorithms to assess the likelihood of positive COVID-19 and involvement of the lung parenchyma to do wellness. As Brazil is a huge country and with structural differences, our challenge was to choose or develop the best algorithm to build a platform that, regardless of the local structures, the hospital could use the service, which in this case were free. Here is an example of how the platform was designed. The hospitals send its exams for a cloud system that receives the images, anonymizes them, and sends them to the AI algorithm. After at least 5 minutes, the algorithm returns the report and the images marked with the area of the lung affected by the disease. These images and the report are returned to the hospital of origin and are also stored in the project's data lake. We still have a set of experienced doctors to discuss the case and issue a second opinion if necessary. This platform started operating on the 4th of May. We spent 45 days until the first version, and the results so far, more than 20,000 platform accesses. Almost 50 hospitals are using the AI platform. We have already analyzed almost 20,000 exams, and there are 5 algorithms working the platform. Three of them is the Brazilian startups. These results have been used to develop a methodology to use AI and test hypotheses in this kind of projects. Finally, I'd like to briefly introduce our digital health program. Our idea is through partnerships to develop digital health projects, and with these use cases, understand which governance model is most appropriate, how to manage the needs for change. If the regulation is adequate, we face with the reality, test the technologies offered by the market, the devices, and the interoperability between the various systems and equipment. How to help you with your proposal for a public purchase process, and how to maintain economic sustainability. In addition, of course, teaching and research with a focus on innovation and usability. Our projects that will be used as pilots are in the area of bone marrow transplantation and cover everything from primary care, the hospital environment, and the chronic patient. Thank you so much, and I hope I contribute to the discussion, and I'm ready to integrate Inovações into Japan trade initiatives. Thank you so much. Thank you, Márcia.
Thank you so much, Marco, for this, your brilliant presentation. And first of all, I'd like to thank Jetro for inviting us to participate in this event. And also I'd like to thank 100 Open Startups for the organization. So let me share my presentation. Mm-hmm. Okay, so having the introduction of Ikegawa-san's brief introduction about the opportunities in Japan, and also having Marco Bego from Inovações explaining the situation here in Brazil, I'd like my presentation will be how Japanese companies can take advantage of our healthcare systems and healthcare innovation hub, and also to do the opposite, also how our healthcare system can take advantage of Japanese healthcare innovation hub. Okay, so let me share first. I think it's important for the Japanese companies understand where to invest in health tech in Brazil. So yesterday we had the presentation of startups, and also you are going to have more presentations about startups. But I'd like to share with you the rationale of how Deloitte Brazil is investing in health tech in Brazil. Okay. So just complementing what Marco Bego from Inovações explained, Deloitte Brazil, we are investing in why we selected Inovações as a point to invest, as a place to invest in Brazil, in health tech. Yeah, because of many reasons. First, because it congregates enterprise, startups, government, academia. And also they have an open innovation culture. I think as Marco said, there are several projects, several startups, strong collaboration with the government, strong collaboration with tech companies, big companies and startups as well. So why we selected? Because first, also, we were able to do some research with the academics linked to the medical school at São Paulo University. As you might know, Hospital das Clínicas is inside of the inside the São Paulo University, which is the largest university in Latin America. So we understand that there is a great benefit if you invest in a research center like Inovações, because we would have contact with the students, with the researchers, with the professors of the university. So this is one reason. The second reason that we have invested at Inovações is the government funding mechanisms. So since they are a research center, they have already some government incentives that could be used by the technology companies that are based in Brazil. So even you have large multinationals that have a base here in Brazil, they can use some government incentives for innovation projects. So this facilitates a lot the creation of innovation projects. Third, it is the open innovation culture, because they have embedded in their culture open innovation. Usually when you go to the research centers, very academic research centers, sometimes it's very difficult to have relationship and also to promote joint projects with a very strict, very academic, typical academic institution in Brazil. But Inovações is a little bit different. They have a different culture, different mindset, and they are very open to the best technology in the world. And linked to this, also, their laboratory at Inovações is a test bed for new technologies. So we are running some projects, like the one that he has presented in AI. It was very emerging projects. And it's a test bed for new technology. So we are currently engaged in a new project that we are going to test some sensors, some biosensors inside the laboratory. And also, which is very important that Ikegaya-san mentioned in the beginning, what's really important for the Japanese companies is that they could have access to data. So within Inovações, we are building the largest data lake for structured and non-structured data. So we are in this data lake, we are storing patient data, images, and other data that is relevant for research. And also, since we have at Inovações, we have a strong relationship with the Brazilian government and the regulators. These laboratories became a regulatory sandbox to test new regulations in advanced tech. For example, in the previous project that Marco mentioned about AI, we discussed a lot about AI, usage of AI in Brazil, concerned to the related to the privacy laws in Brazil. And also the other new project that I'm conducting there, for example, tracing patients or monitoring patients. This is also a theme that is very sensitive when we are talking about privacy. So this is the reason that we have invested and we're still investing at Inovações, right? And what would be the benefits if you have those features, yeah, for life science companies? Yeah, life science companies would need some data to test, for example, algorithms, to test new drugs, to test drugs in patients with different backgrounds. So, for example, at the COVID, our researchers, once we had the data from the COVID, and our researcher has also studied the COVID effect in the northeast of Brazil and southeast, and which kind of a virus it seems to be different from the northeast and southeast in Brazil. So Brazil is very large, so it's a huge population with a mix of blood and different cultures. So that's the reason that it's very good for life sciences company, and also for medtech companies. Since this is a test bed for new technologies, for medtech, it will be wonderful to test those new technologies and to do the stretch and the usage in the emerging country, which is completely different when we are talking about medtech for developed countries. When we are talking about medtech for underdeveloped countries, it's a completely different technology. It's a different use case that could be replicated to other developing countries or underdeveloping countries. Telecom companies. So, of course, all those projects, we rely upon lots of connectivity. So 5G will be heavily tested at Inovações. All types of connectivity of 5G, we're going to test at Inovações. Insurance, as Ikegaya-san told us, health insurance also needs data. And health insurance also needs co-creation with new techs in order to have better models. So working with this research institute, we can access this type of data. Trading companies as well, since we are going to have this interchange of technologies between Brazil and Japan, the trading companies will take a bigger role here. And also, of course, Japanese startups. When I saw those Japanese startups that Ikegaya-san showed to us in the beginning, it would be very nice if they could also be present in Brazil and be part of our projects in Brazil. Okay, so I will not repeat the use case, the content that Marco presented about the COVID, but I'd like to highlight one point, which is the results of the project, which is very important. How we build projects with Inovações and with the Brazilian government. It's very important to draft a project that have many different views for research, for education, and to develop local startups. So that project that we have envisioned with the Inovações in AI in COVID, so the results was to help the hospitals that are in the underserved areas in Brazil, especially in the North and Northeast, because we provided that platform for AI for the hospitals that are underserved. So one objective is really help the public health sector in Brazil. So this is one point. The other point is the research, because since we have accumulating that project several data, we were able, we have a rich raw material for life science company. So Novartis participated in our project, and also for the technology companies to improve their algorithms. Okay, so Siemens participated in our project. And also for the startups to test and train their models. So we have right now 5 startups engaged in this local startups engaged in this project. So this is another big objective of the project. Okay, so when we need to draft a project, it's important to draft a project that have a broader view with multiple stakeholders, so that several stakeholders can benefit from this project. And also, final remarks. What are the opportunities for Japanese companies? My thought is, since we have here those Japanese companies that we have, life science companies, medtech companies, telecom companies in Japan, health insurance companies in Japan, trading companies and startups. And those companies, we need to have an ecosystem that will be able to co-create projects, co-create products and services, so that we have benefits from both countries, benefits from Japanese companies and benefits from also from Brazil in terms of local research and academia, co-creation of products, serve public health services, local tech companies. So I think in this way, when we have this win-win situation, we are going to have business, we are going to have improved government relations, we are going to have improved public policies, and also we are going to have improved regulation in Brazil. I assume that this is my view in terms of how Brazil and Japan can collaborate in the healthcare in Brazil. So thank you so much. I would like to return to Marco. And if you have any doubt, please send us in the chat. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, Márcia, thank you very much. We have received 2 questions for you. I'm going to send you in the chat here, and you can answer them, okay?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. How is Deloitte working on the digital transformation for your clients in the healthcare area? Do you have a case with startup to share with us? Yes, definitely. So in fact, this project in COVID, we are helping 3 startups actually in the health tech. And the startups, one is NeuroMind, another is Visibilia, another is Ottawa Tech. Those are the ones that we selected during the project. What we have done is we made available a data set, and we worked with the São Paulo state government in order to have a call for startups to submit their proposals for our project. And it was like a competition. And after this competition, we selected 3 startups. And actually, they are really engaged in our project. And the idea is that they would be able, once they have their models perfectly trained, the idea is to make available this model that were produced by those startups to the public sector. So this is specifically the example. It's really real, and later on we can share all the steps and how we engage the startups. And the second question is, in your opinion, what is the main bottleneck, limitation of working with startups? Finding the right now. Finding mature startups. Yes, I think this is a good question. So since I have this very recent experience, when we started the project in the AI in the COVID, I remember that several startups approached me and told me, Márcia, we have a startup XYZ at university. They have already trained this, the AI machine learning in the agriculture. Other had trained in AI in another use case, and several approached to me. And what we did in decision was, let's bring the best that we had at the moment in the world, right? Because we know that in order to provide an AI algorithm, first the AI algorithm need to be trained, and by that time, which was February, there were only good models in China. So we brought first the algorithm from China, and then we tested the several algorithms from South Korea, from US, from Spain, from Italy, and then we also tested the German. So, and then we selected the Chinese algorithm and the Siemens, the German algorithm. Then when we published the call and we put the requirements that the startup should have that level of accuracy of the algorithms, we find out there were very few startups that were able to produce that type of algorithm, that skill. So it's very important to say that it's important to have the startup that is really unique, is really the one that have the very best technology, very advanced technology, because we as Deloitte, we are going to put the startups to compete against the best in the world. So I think this is the challenge in Brazil, to find the right startup that has the advanced technology that will be able to compete against the best in the world.
Okay, thank you very much, Márcia-san. Thank you as well, Marco. We're now going to take another short break, and we'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Thank you.
We're back with Open Innovation Week. Thank you everyone who is watching us live. And you can write your questions to our panelists in YouTube chat during the presentations, so they can answer them at the end of the presentation. Now, to talk about the innovation activities in Japan and Brazil, I invite Mr. Roberto Pereira, Head of Innovation of Everis. Thank you. Welcome, Roberto. Thank you for your presence.
Thank you, Marco. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Jetro, Tatiana, thank you, 100. It's a huge pleasure to be here with you guys. So today I will talk about innovation without frontiers. It's a new panorama that we are living. That let me share my screen. Okay. So this is our topic today, innovation beyond frontiers, how to make business, innovation, collaboration without frontiers between Japan and Brazil and worldwide. So my name is Roberto Celestino Pereira. Since I will be with you guys, I would like to support you in all your themes regarding innovation. I'm a master, professor, researcher. I just love innovation. I'm head of innovation in Everis. And now then, more than ever, I'm a home entrepreneur, as you guys. We are living entrepreneurship in our houses. So this is our days. This is just to contextualize my environment. I belong to a global company. We are innovation in a very complex company. There are several initiatives of innovation worldwide. So first tip for you guys, we have to know where is this innovation, what is about the innovation initiatives in each sector, in each unit of our complex organizations. And Everis is a part of NTT Data, is a Japanese company. So we have different initiatives with Japan for innovation worldwide. I will deep a little bit with a specific one. It's an innovation, open innovation contest that we just made it in last month. So NTT Data is a very huge company. It's a very huge figures, and we are present in all continents. So we have this kind of blend. We have a different blend from Europeans, Japanese, different cultures, and this is a very good knowledge and message for all. The innovation must be done as an open initiative to add value for different cultures, different flavors, different technologies worldwide. So it's not possible anymore to realize innovation in one single country or in one single technology. We have to open our initiatives worldwide. Here in Americas, we have in these states, in these countries, we have center of excellence in each country. Here in Brazil, we are very specialized in X-reality, extended reality. We have projects of mixed, virtual, and augmented reality. And nowadays we are blended this with IoT, big data, machine learning, phygital, blockchain. So that's I'm talking about how to blend different cultures and different technologies to bring value for our customers. And this is very interesting because some years ago, this is not possible because all the innovation initiatives have a key, and everybody put the innovation initiative very secret, and this is not working anymore. We have to open our innovation initiatives for in all of this center of excellence, and collaborate and share knowledge. It's not easy when we talk about different cultures, different language. So this, we have to establish a governance to put this on track, okay? So we have all the capabilities. We have to develop these capabilities to make the innovation happen. We have to be agile. Projects must be have shortly, quickly, bring values. So we have to be lean. We have to be freedom for experimentation, technical backgrounds, different clouds, strict sense. We have to be close to our universities to make the win-win-win all the time. And I'm very proud to announce that we are referenced in the X-Reality in spatial computing in all the regions in Americas. So this is very good for us and put our team on the top of this subject, okay? The spaces are very important also, because it's not easy to promote innovation in common environments. So we launch our digital lab. This is a space that incubate a lot of teams, a lot of squads. So we are incubating squads, different squads, but integrated them for different projects, for different clients, customers. This is very interesting. This is the picture on the right side. So we put all the competence to share knowledge and share prototypes in order to integrate them. Let me explain better. We are running a project for augmented reality for our customers. It's possible to check your bill, your credit bill in 3D modelings. This is, as you know, it's very difficult to understand our credit card bills. So when we put this in 3D models, it's better. You have a better understanding and a better learning about your rates, about your expenditures. And this is, we put this embedded in the chatbots. So you can ask for the chatbot, for your virtual assistant, let me check my bills from the last 3 months. And this appear in 3D models. And this must be integrated with IoT also, because you have to encourage these sensors and understand your behavior. For example, for the electrical companies that want to understand your consumer behavior, they are putting integrated sensors, augmented reality, and machine learning in order to learn, in order to send you tips about your consuming. And in this way, they have a player, a new play as a trusted advisor, and then they can sell more services to consumers at all. And in the left side, we have the showroom. This is the place that we put all the innovation initiatives in place that everyone can use and then give us more insights, more tips, more use cases, and then we can increase our hypothesis, our abilities to innovate jointly with our customer, jointly with our startups, jointly with our ecosystem. We have 5 main pillars. This is our structure for innovation. See, as you can see, it's a mixture of objectives and initiatives. In the left, starting with the left pillar, ecosystem. It's very important to be close in collaboration and co-creation with the ecosystem. That we are done. This is what we've done here. We are very close with the partners, accelerators, startups, universities, and jointly we can understand the challenges, the agenda, the topics that they have, that they must put in place. So we have different initiatives. One of them is the NTT Data Open Innovation. This, I will talk about it. And also get closer to the universities, the best ones in São Paulo, INSPERS, FIAP, IMB Morumbi, and the other ones. Because we must understand the digital and the digital natives, the green hairs, as we talk in our labs. Because this symbiosis with the green hairs and the white hairs, it's very important. This symbiosis can bring together the understanding and knowledge about the sector, about the customer, about the process, but together with the native, the digital natives, we can combine with the digital technologies and then bring the new solutions for our customers. So if we understand the challenges, we can bring this for our R&D main process. As everybody knows, we have the Open Innovation Funnel. This is the framework that guides us in the build digital innovation assets. So we have the phase of design thinking, concept, backlog, inception, and then we can run the prototypes with the several initiatives, with the several partners that we have. This must be run very quickly, very shortly, and then we can prove our hypothesis and then come up with some business models that are evaluating, that can really make, if this solution can transform the sector, can transform the customers. And if we run the development very well, we have to transfer this for the market. This is our third pillar. So we have to transfer this knowledge for all partners, for all executives in the market. And the best way to do it, it's make a film, make a very shortly film, exploiting the hypothesis, exploiting the prototype for all of them. So we have a channel in the YouTube, and there you can see all the assets that we are building together with our ecosystem. This is very important to transfer the knowledge of innovation for all parts. I reinforce it. This is very important to transfer knowledge of innovation for all third parts. Because if you don't transfer the knowledge, everybody is seeing you as a crazy guy making something really strange, and they don't have knowledge to apply this in the really use cases. So, and to support this, we have all the time communication. We must be in all the channels of podcasts, webinars, meetups. We have to send a lot of reports, a lot of message to our customers. Communication is a very important pillar, and also, of course, funding. There isn't innovation without money. Innovation needs money. It's not possible to make innovation without money. So we have to raise funding with internal units and all governmental units. So we have projects submitted for FAPESP, and NTT Data is a global company that we have money to bet in some difficult or very newest challenge. This is what we do: impact our customer, our ecosystem with innovation, digital technology innovation prototypes. We must impact them in the very early stage of the hype cycle. So that's why I'm talking about spatial computing, vision computing, IoT, big data, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and all of them. We have to combine these technologies and put in place to solve big challenges using use cases to prove the hypothesis, okay? And as I told you guys, it's not possible to do it by yourself. We have to connect this challenge with the ecosystem. So beginning in the top, in the universities, we bring two very important values for us. One of them is this connection with the digital natives. It's very important to understand how they think, the technology that they are using, how to are exploring these new technologies, the engineering behind them. And of course, there is a lack of talents to bring for our teams. So we have to be connected in order to bring them for our teams. As I told you, this is important to be connected with all the initiatives worldwide and sharing this knowledge with all the initiatives inside in our complex organization. The tech players have a very powerful knowledge also, because they offer to us the first license, the first knowledge, and we can test this license, these assets in the projects, in the prototypes. So we have a letter of agreements, we have a master agreement with them, Unity, Microsoft, Google, AWS, all of them. We have a very good collaboration and co-creation using these new technologies to put in place in these new challenges for the market. The startups is amazing. We just made a very good collaboration with Mindify. And thank you, André, again. Your partnership is very good for us, because the startups bring the asset, that core value asset that they have. And our proposal is to integrate this core asset in a very complex organization. So all of these startups that we have here, we are collaborating with them in some way. Some of them it's more matured, some of them we are in a very beginning, but we are collaborating with them. And at the beginning, it's not so easy to bring a startup to put inside in a huge company. We have to pass through a lot of procedures, and we have to culture our organization to collaborate with this very quickly way to model, very quick way to put the hypothesis in place. So Mindify, it's amazing startups, all of them. Thank you very much. And also, the startups are incubated or accelerated by these huge organizations and help us a lot to understand. And Jetro has a very important part here in this win-win-win collaboration. Jetro help us to understand how to make business within Japan. Because Jetro can bring us this vision, how you can put your solution in a Japanese way that can serve the market, bring value to the market. And this is, we have several immersive days with Jetro and startups to understand and to incubate these projects, to evaluate, to understand, to mentoring these solutions and put this in the market. So, and at the center, of course, we must bring the innovation for our customers. At the end of the day, the innovation must be in place for the market, for the sector, for the customer challenges. So we have good collaboration with all these companies and other ones. So we work with these 6 sectors. And as an innovation unity, we have to understand the trends, the challenges, the banking. We have these new opportunities of open banking, new models, new services for financial services. It's very interesting the transformation that this sector are having this in this pandemic time. So we have to understand it and then bringing the hypothesis for them in a very quickly, in a very co-creation and collaboration way. Also, the Telecom 5G is bringing a very, very disruptive model to, for example, for X reality. 5G will push us in a new wave of 3D models, of a phygital solutions. Retail, it's amazing. There is a topic in retail, direct to consumer. It's very interesting and newest topics. As you can see in the, what's the name in Portuguese? It's the Z delivery. I think everyone already tested the Z delivery. It's a new solution for this direct to consumer. How can we sell our portfolio in these direct channels to consumer? So there is a lot of hypotheses that we are running in our digital lab regarding this topic. How can I put a share? How can I put all the portfolio, for example, Unilever here in my house, and how can I interact with these products and engage with this vendor? And then how can I buy these products and bring to my house? it's a very different way to consume, to make shops. Also in the utility sector, energy sector, they have this necessity to understand customer behavior. It's not more a unity of consume, it's a customer behavior, because they want to sell new services for the consumers that they have already established. Everybody here is consuming of electric power, so they are inside in our houses, so they must understand how is our behavior as a customer, and then they can sell new services for us. Health, it is a very transformation sector with the COVID pandemic. Home care, wearables, using IoT, using smart wearables, using a lot of machine learning, smart speakers, virtual assistant for our health. And I think André will speak a little bit about the transformation of health sector. And then insurance. We not consume insurance as days before. Insurance is a very new sector, a very new services for insurance, and they are running in a very transformation way to make business with the customers. So with all of these six sectors, we have to understand the trends, the transformations, the challenges, and then bring together to make design thinking, to make concepts, to understand the hypothesis that we have to develop, and most importantly, the OKRs and the KPIs that we have to solve, that we have to prove for their organization. This is the way that we are working together, the customers, the startups, the universities, in a win-win-win collaboration all the time, win-win-win. And here I bring to you real ones. This is a real ones challenges for these customers and these sectors. So inclusion and financial education. This is a hot topic for banks. How to educate my son, for example, he has 14 years old, he has a gamer, and how to bring in the gamer perspective the financial education. How to bring the new financial services, new customer services model. And all of this passed through a difficult topic. There's a digital security, fraud prevention, and compliance. So these topics we are nowadays discussing with our customers, how to make this happen, how to prove this challenge, how to prove these trends. It's not so easy. It's very, very difficult to make this happen. In telco, we have the challenge of inventory intelligence, bill of materials, spare parts. As you know, in Macapá, they have a very huge problem regarding transformation, problem with the huge transformation. So spare parts, it's very important to solve. As you know, just in time, how to bring, and again, we have a lot of startups working with that, and we can add value together with startups and bring strong solutions for the sector and for Vivo Telefónica. Efficiency operational on field services. Also, field services, it's a very important topic. And we are putting VR and AR in their hands to make more efficiently the services on the field. IoT, as you know, it's a very important, direct to consumer, as I told you, new models of collaboration integration between the industry value chain and utility, as I told you, and at the right side, all the technologies that we are working with. Here, it's the judges that we bring together. So it's a mixture of innovation executives that can understand the customer, understand the value of the startups, and then mentoring them to make the innovation happens. Also, I want to thank you, Tatiana-san. Thank you, Tatiana, to support us in this innovation initiative. So we try to find the best startups in all regions of Brazil, and then have these players together with us. And this semifinal of the innovation contest, we have these 6 very good startups. I can tell you that they are very transforming their sectors. We have the funnel, the innovation funnel. It's adapted for our model, but we have the drivers, the discovery phase, the concept, call to action to bring together all the accelerators parts, and then make the project happen. And one example of this, we had a very good project with Toyota. We put a very different technology together. This is a very emblematic project. We made this in Argentina, but as I told you, we have to put the virtual assistant to speak with them and bring new information for customer decisions. We put this in the WhatsApp and different channels to talk with the Toyota and understand the vendors' channels. So that's it, guys. I want to thank you again, Marco, and I'm open for question and answer, or anytime I'm your disposal to talk with you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation, Mr. Roberto. We are now going to take another short break, and we will be back in a moment. So stay with us.
Thank you.
We're back with Open Innovation Week. Thanks to everyone who is watching us live. Remember, you can write your questions to our panelists in the YouTube chat during the presentations, so they can answer them at the end of the presentation. Now, to continue today's presentations, I invite Mr. André Ramos, CEO of Mindify. Welcome, Mr. André. Thank you for your presence.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you, 100 Open Startups, and thank you, Jetro, for this huge invitation. My name is André Ramos, I'm CEO of Mindify, and today I'm showing to you what we are doing to change the world regarding technology for healthcare. I'll share my screen with you now. Screen 1, share. One moment, please. Sorry. Now it's good. Mindify, are you seeing my screen correctly? Okay, thank you. Mindify is changing how healthcare works. We are addressing problems that anybody in the world solved yet. So we are innovating for good. And today, my goal is to make you see the uniqueness some of the most important healthcare players already saw in Mindify. They are using it to deliver value-based medicine and to do real-world clinical research on large scale. It's worth mentioning that among our cognitions, there are 2 from Japan. One came from NTT Data, and we are very proud of it, and other from the renowned Plug-and-Play Japan Business Accelerator, one of the top global business accelerators. To understand what we do, all of you need to understand why first. Healthcare costs are rising fast, way above average inflation. That means each day fewer people can have access to good healthcare at a fair price. This is a humanitarian disaster already in course. Even rich countries such as Japan have difficulties in paying the healthcare bill today. The lack of standards in clinical care causes this huge medical inflation. That means that there are many different ways to diagnose and treat each disease, but only a few are really cost-effective. Even hospitals of excellence have problems coordinating the care among their medical teams today. Electronic health records could fight that, but they failed because they could not engage physicians in generating robust real-world clinical data. Without this good data, it's impossible to find and also to promote the best protocols on a large scale. But the good news is that we can solve that with Mindify. It offers AI-aided medical protocols automation for structured clinical data collection and real-time clinical decision support. The result is a software medical friendly as never before. And Mindify is fully operational already. It helps physicians decrease the time spent in clinical consultations up to 40%, along with huge clinical variability reduction. To make this happen, unlike any other, we use artificial intelligence to generate the software screen in real time, addressing each patient's needs then, meaning that Mindify changes completely to address physicians' real-world needs, especially to provide automation aimed at clinical decision support and clinical bureaucracy mitigation. Because of this, we engage physicians way better than any traditional electronic medical record or customer relationship management software. With this engagement comes better data, and with this unique data, we can provide several other unique benefits for Mindify users. Mindify can, for example, define each patient profile and then suggest the most likely conduct for diagnosis and treatments. So, physicians have access to click-based interfaces, real-time clinical decision support, clinical bureaucracy automation, and they can use all of that in any device available, computers, cell phones, and whatever. For hospitals, Mindify is even better because it improves clinical and financial outcomes at almost any clinical decision while reducing medical burnout. Now clinical managers can coordinate teams easily and make better results for the hospital. For those who want to practice value-based medicine, there's nothing better than Mindify. The robust, structured clinical data generated by us can feed partners tools like this one. This is a tool already integrated with Mindify. It is a populational machine learning software that defines the patient's financial and clinical risk in a 10-year timeline. Besides, it suggests the whole medical team conduct to avoid huge health claims from these high-risk patients. And the correct adoption of the conduct suggested is automatically supervised by Mindify. In other words, we can find and act on patients that need attention in time to avoid that they consume all available resources from the hospital, from the government, for example. So it's a very powerful populational tool as well, Mindify. To become this unique, we had also to innovate in our business model. As Roberto said before, it's important to find ways to collaborate with those who has unique knowledge. Our business model is a collaborative approach where experienced physicians share their know-how with their colleagues by automatize their protocols with the assistance of Mindify machine learning techniques. Eventually, these physicians can get royalties if they decide to market their automatized protocol to their colleagues. For example, by this approach, Japanese physicians can easily create protocols for the Japanese market. So, the software has the perfect fit to the local needs. Naturally, we can do the same in Brazil. We are doing already in Brazil. To put all this software in motion fast, we have help from a proprietary robot that does all the programming by itself. There's no human coding anything. So automatizing protocols at Mindify is cheaper than any other competitor and also free of programming errors. To confirm this hypothesis, we did a comprehensive market survey found no other company with such a powerful robot. So we like to think that there is no better option for those healthcare services that want to automatize their protocol than Mindify today. It's important to emphasize that Mindify also uses AI to improve its user experience, so it can engage medical teams better than any other software. As I mentioned, electronic health records or even customer relationship software. Different AI techniques analyze patients' data and physicians' behavior to automatically generate a software screen to help physicians get the most of each consultation. Using all these features that I mentioned, Mindify did a project to access Unimed, a major Brazilian healthcare insurance company for COVID-19 issues. The software was up and running in only 3 days and helped them to reduce 60% of the projected emergency room demand at the peak of the pandemic in Brazil. These remarkable results came because we had a great team too. Till now, more than 50 people helped us to get at this point. I have master's degree in biomedical engineering and my partner is a PhD candidate in artificial intelligence. The COVID-19 pandemic brought us to the brink of a financial collapse in healthcare. But Mindify Mindify helped to solve that. We are already promoting a new normal where physicians are more data-driven by enabling massive and straightforward, robust, real-world clinical data generation. With this data is the key to low healthcare costs for everyone in Japan and worldwide. And the good news is that we can deploy all of that today. And now it's time for you that is seeing this presentation today to become a Mindifyer. You can help healthcare become better right away by adopting Mindify. Please get in touch if you feel that you can join us. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Now I'm open for questions.
Okay. Let me check if there are any questions from the public. Not yet. So I thank you very much for your presentation, Mr. André. We're going to take another short break and we'll come back in a moment. Stay with us.
Thank you.
We're back with Open Innovation Week. Thanks to everyone who is watching us live. Remember, you can write your questions to our panelists in the YouTube chat during the presentations so they can answer them at the end of the presentation. Now I want to invite from Hospital Santa Cruz, Mr. Luiz Kimura, Director of Research and Technological Innovations, Mr. Renato Hassegawa, Technical Director, and Mr. Maurício Miyazaki, Projects Coordinator. Welcome, Luiz, Renato, and Maurício. Thank you for your presence.
Thank you, Marco. My name is Luiz Kimura, and I will talk about research and education at Santa Cruz Hospital. I think I would share my presentation. One moment, please. That's it. Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Rebecca. And I is proud to be part of this meeting. Santa Cruz Hospital is an institute with 81 years old and provide health and medical assistance to people in São Paulo, Brazil. We concerned about how can enhance the knowledge of our staff and give a better assistance to this population. How can do this? The answer is we have to improve education and scientific research of our health workers. In 2017, during a scientific meeting among Santa Cruz Hospital, São Paulo University, School of Medicine, and the University, with the presence of Professor Nagata. Here we have Dr. Hassegawa, our CEO, and Professor Maurício. And on this occasion, our board of directors thinking about the creation of an institution that will provide those conditions to do this. I want to introduce you. Santa Cruz Research and Education is IPESC, created by our board of directors, provides scientific research and educational actions. And the first step of this institution, our institution, is got the approval in Brazilian aids of in research in EPI and educational staff by the Ministry of Education. We also want to develop a network with Brazilian institutions, nationwide institutions like São Paulo University, like Fundação Oswaldo Cruz, huge institutions of health assistance in Brazil. And also with partner hospitals like Sabará Children's Hospital and Sírio-Libanese Hospital, big institutions in our city. We also want to work with another Brazilian Nikkei hospital. We have a lot of Brazilian Nikkei hospitals like Hospital Nico Brasileiro, Hospital Nova Atibaia, Hospital Sugizawa, Paraná Hospital, Hospital Amazônia in the north of country in the Lake do Pará, and also SBC Hospital. In the international scenario, IPESC will house an office of Tsukuba University, representing the mindset of education, culture, sports, science, and technology of Japan. This partnership aims to facilitate and stimulate the relationship between the institution and its Japanese counterparts. one example of research study is just nowadays developed skill of use of favipiravir in mild patients with SARS-CoV-2, supported by JICA, and it is a multi-center study leadership of our institution, and with partnership of Nikkei hospitals and Fundação Cruz, that's a huge institution, health institution, Federal University, and the Institute of Administrators, that's a big institute in the north of France. And also in international network, we can tell you about the science plan. We take part with this planning, this program, and it is supported by the Japanese Science and Technological Agency, and we take part of this. And finally, I would summarize the main goals of our institution. That is many activities in graduation and fellowship and medical residence, increase the education of health workers, improvement in the filter may be developed post-graduation in our institute. Thank you for your attention. That's what can you demonstrate for you.
Thank you, Luiz. Maurício, Renato.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Would you see? Is that okay?
Yeah, we're seeing the other screen, the next slide and notes. We're not seeing the full screen.
Just a moment. Stop share. Esse aqui, não é? Primeiro foi você. Deixa eu ver. Okay. And now, is that okay?
No, we're seeing the same screen, but I think it's better if you not share the slides in full screen, just within the PowerPoint, you know, because we're seeing two slides, the current and the next.
Oh yeah.
So we can exit the presentation mode. I think it would be better like this. Okay.
Like this? Okay.
Yeah, because it's bigger. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. Kimura, well, so nice to meet you. Good morning. I am continuing the Kimura's presentation. Kimura told about our history and research and education area. Now, Hassegawa will introduce and talk about COVID impacts and challenges in our hospital, okay?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Renato Hassegawa. I am the medical director. I am in charge of Santa Cruz Hospital in São Paulo. I will talk about a little bit about our experience in facing COVID-19 in our hospital and I will start with a brief story of my hospital. Santa Cruz Hospital was founded in 1939 endowments from Emperor of Japan and Mitsubishi Corporation in order to provide healthcare to Japanese migrants and their families in their own language. Our hospital is equipped with to perform a full range of surgeries and diagnostic procedures. Liver, kidney, bone marrow transplants are performed in our hospital. We also have 13 surgery rooms, 2 CT scans, and 2 MRI, and we perform 14,000 surgeries per year. Brazil is a big country in many ways, and it has a population of 210 million people. Its territory is 22 times bigger than Japan. São Paulo is the most populous and the healthiest state in Brazil. It has almost 46 million people. São Paulo is the capital city of São Paulo state and the financial center of the country. Big territory and big population means problems in pandemic. Next. Japan GDP is 37% higher than Brazil's, and 34% of the Brazilian GDP comes from São Paulo state. However, the HDI in Japan is 17% higher than Brazil. But compared in the São Paulo city, we have a little closer, considering the difference of 12%. Next one. Just over 10% of all confirmed cases in the world were reported in Brazil, considering COVID-19. And approximately 12% of global deaths occurred in our country. Next one. The COVID-19 came from Europe to Brazil in early March in 2020, brought by Brazilian tourists returning from Italy throughout the country. Recovered patients totalized more than 5 million cases. More than 383,000 patients are in surveillance. 79.7 deaths in 100,000. New cases, 35,000 of new cases we found every day in our country. In an average instance of 100,000, 2,800 in 100,000. Next one, please. This graph shows the curve of deaths. The declining trend of deaths stopped in the last 2 weeks, and a spike of deaths was detected as we can in chart. Specialists are suspecting the second wave of pandemic, similarly to what happened to Europe. Early March, it became clear that mitigation measures were utterly necessary to keep the safe attendance. In order to accomplish this task, we created an emergency unit for flu-like cases with full segregation of attendance. We provided personal protection equipment for all healthcare professionals and administrative personnel. Next one, please. Strict protocols was created for COVID-19. Testing was provided for all inpatients. The ambulatory service center was adapted for emergency procedures only for COVID-19 patients, and the main surgery center became the COVID-19 free for elective surgeries. All patients positive for COVID-19 were isolated in single rooms. Next one. To assure a safe stay of Japanese travelers and citizens, living in Brazil. It was provides a drive-through service to PCR testing and sanity certificates and counseling. Risk group personnel were preserved and relocated to home office or bureaucratic assignments. Attendances were provided for more than 8,000 patients suspected of COVID-19 in Santa Cruz Hospital. About 500 patients recovered in our hospital, with 65 deaths throughout the pandemic inside the hospital. COVID patients' mortality was 22% in our hospital. Next one. And seeing a downward trend in the number of suspects of COVID-19, it was observed a peak of 90 cases per day in emergency unit along the last 2 weeks. Our best hope in this pandemic relies on the vaccines. We have 3 vaccines in the phase 3 trial in our country. The Oxford Cruz, the federal government make investment of 1.9 billion reais to support this research. And state governments in São Paulo invested in 49 million doses ordered to Sinovac. And Pfizer is conducting the final trial, the Pfizer 3 trial, of the advanced vaccine of RNA messenger. And in 2 days ago, we received the news that the federal government is dealing agreements to acquire 49 million doses for our country. And that's all I have to say about the pandemic. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, now we start with digitalization and innovation point of view of the hospital. Well, so what Santa Cruz did to leverage the challenges, COVID challenges, into opportunities. The first one was telemedicine. Sounds a little obvious, but it's very important to conduct our actions here, following the principal guides. I mean, it means maintain or keep relevance between doctor and patient relationship. Understand that telemedicine is an extension of follow-up and monitoring of simple clinical situations, prescriptions, cases of low complexity. And for sure, very important subject is the preservation of data privacy and patient records. So we react in a fast way using a telemedicine platform capable to make appointments, having digital certificates, recording of sections, pictures, and simplified prescriptions. Okay, everything promoting benefits in security for the patients located far from here, including reduction of costs from the point of view of hospital and for the patient. Another action we performed is regarding to generate a collaborative network. We use a platform called Join, designed for second opinion. It means taking all pictures, images in a DICOM format in our PAC system, and promote and share this information among physicians and health professionals over here. in a secure network, encrypted and anonymized information of the patient. It was very helpful over here. Some features this platform has are possibility to share DICOM information, chat among the physicians, video and audio conferences, and generate groups per cases, okay, and for treatment lines. So we have some visions about our future regarding to digital area. The first one is a digital check-in that will promote agility in the processes and reduction of patients waiting for assistance. For sure, taking care of security and data integrity and patient authentications. It starts with a scheduling process by mobile, for instance, or through portal or WhatsApp, whatever. And when the patient start the process of checking, he can provide personal registration. This process will generate a QR code. And at the moment patients arrives at the hospital, some technologies such as facial biometrics, OCR, totems, and RPAs, the robots, make the patient's life easier. And at the end, the payment options to let the patient payment process easier as well. Well, Hassegawa will talk about artificial intelligence for endoscopy.
Okay, I'll speak about our artificial intelligence endoscopy. I'm endoscopists, and it's a great pleasure to present the KDI system. It's a proprietary system of Fujifilm Corporation. It brings the artificial intelligence and the learning machine concept to endoscopy. As you know, the lesions associated to cancer in upper GI system, it's a very huge concern because endoscopy till nowadays is hugely operator dependent. So there are it's highly variable in quality and accuracy. And KDI system brings the learning machine and enormous data, about thousands and thousands of the examinations, and can provide the very accurate diagnosis of cancer. So, of course, the human, the endoscopy is not dismissed of the endoscopy, but the artificial intelligence can bring more safety, more comfort for the endoscopists, and more value to this examination. So I think it's next January, it's early January of 2021, we'll have the system in our hospital to help the endoscopists in diagnosis and make more diagnosis of cancer in our hospital. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. As part of our vision as well is the first aid support and medical records in patient hands. It means having a platform, mobile, where basic life support and first aid guides is allowed. Platform that allows also emergency calls and how can I say, share the clinical records of patients, such as prescription exam results, and so on. Okay. We also have a view about one key problem with patient faces. It starts with the question of the patient, why don't my health records move with me? And it starts a lot of things, such as value-based healthcare instead of fee-for-services model, the demand of continuity of care, proactive interaction with patients, the packages and sharing of operator risks. Bundles, yeah, the bundles. It means that it will start all interoperability process where every kind of company will be a technology company, okay? And the role of infrastructure and middleware will be very key and enabler for all these points. At the end, the patient is looking for digital experience, agility, connections, immediate reactions and feedbacks, and having the security of their data. It means we need to have a layer of infrastructure to support this massive computing power and the interoperability of data. Above this enablement layer, we have the layer of intelligence, where works machine learning, artificial intelligence, big data analytics, promoting better cancer diagnosis, endoscopy diagnosis, as Hassegawa told, and other disease detections using the intelligence. At the end, we have the layer of engagement, where the patient will interact, will use, and all the services provided by hospital and other suppliers, starting with scheduling, health monitoring, and so on. We cannot forget about the data privacy and security in the bottom. At the end, we will have a world connected, machines and human connected, starting with a micro-tier vision, where the patients are already connected with equipment, sensors. Those informations can navigate through the second layer, the mesotier, which means interface among systems inside the hospital, a lot of systems and equipments inside hospital, and up to reach a macro tier environment, where the hospital interconnected with another clinics, another health system data, another countries, and everything is connected in an interoperability model, centered in the patient, with moving of EHR, no friction in consumer experience, and data backbone and advanced analytics. This is the world we foresee, okay? I think this is what we are talking about, Marco.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation, Maurício, Renato, and Luiz. And that's it for the second day of live presentations at the Open Innovation Week December edition. Throughout the event, you can access our speed dating matchmaking platform, where you can connect with other participants of Open Innovation Week in online meetings of 18 minutes each. To participate, check in at the event using the 100 Open Startups app at 100os.app, or by downloading the app from App Store or Google Play. And you can watch the open content of the Open Innovation Week until this Friday. We will be back tomorrow, streaming live at 9 a.m. Brasilia time, with the Open Talks about mobility and logistics. On behalf of 100 Open Startups and Jetro, I thank you for being here with us. Arigatou gozaimashita, and I see you tomorrow.